welcome to Hoojies Garage. I'm in the middle of a strut bearing repair or replacement. The suspension strut that sits here right front. I'm on the second, I'm about to be on the second replacement of the strut bearing, and I don't know why the right hand side wears and the left hand does not. The left hand side hasn't been touched for almost 20 years, but I'm about to do the second replacement now on this strut bearing. As can be seen here, it just corrodes. And well, there isn't a single gram of fat remaining here, and I mean grease in the bearing, of course. The balls are all rusty and nasty, and as the spring is attached to the, you can see here, the end of the spring is landing there. So when it turns, as I turn the steering wheel, then it doesn't really want to move smoothly, so it sounds boing, boing, boing when the spring is kind of released, and then, yeah, you know, it sounds a bit weird. And the MOT, or whatever you should call it, they will complain about that for sure. So I have, well, bought a new one, nothing special, and this rubber bushing is also going to be replaced. Things do corrode a bit. These screws, well, they've been replaced, so they are for sure not more than 10 years. They're probably a bit less, maybe, I don't know, 6-7 years old. They look a bit like this. As far as I can remember, it was a bit of a hassle to get things apart the first time. One can especially see that on the nut that sits on the piston or the rod or whatever you should call it. I didn't remember this, but it has cracked. And I had to use the car as I was doing the work the first time, kind of right away, so I didn't even try to get the new one. I just welded it together again, and it's been staying in position, but well, no problem. Now I have a new one, or there was a little kit with some screws and nuts and things, so I'll be fine. What else to think about? Well, I have to use a spring compressor to release the stress of, or the load, I should say, on the strut bearing, of course. And well, what else? I have a second jack below the wheel, and I've had to take away the rattle bar, the anti-roll bar's link. Because the anti-roll bar doesn't want this the wheel to move downwards. And let's take a quick look on the engine bay side. Yeah, there it sits. There's this cover there. That one takes away. Before doing, yeah, don't take away this nut before you have unloaded the spring, of course. Yeah, not a pretty sight. Anyhow, and it's good to have a little 7mm Allen key, is it called that, to put into the center of the piston. To hold it, of course, to stop it from rotating. All right, so I'll start to put things together again. Let's see how that goes. So I'm jacking up. Yeah, I'm jacking up the suspension strut now, slowly. New bearing is on, new bushing or whatever you should call it. The rubber part is on. Let's see if I can get it to enter in a good way. Seems like that. Good. So now it's coming up. I had to jack the strut down a bit again and then to pull this rod up manually to because it had kind of sunken down or fallen down a bit. But when you push it up manually, then yeah, fine, no problem. And as one jacks it up, one needs to make sure that things really line up well up here. So the spring, no, so the bearing goes into its recess or cavity in the bushing up there. Let's see. Yeah, and it's also time to get the anti-roll bar rod in place. Like that. Bit of anti-corrosion protection. So let's see, and yeah, it's rotated in the right position. Yeah, now it's there. Then it's time to tighten things on the upper side. Yeah, here you see the left-hand virgin side. The nut access there. The accessibility to the nut is a bit weird, of course, but yeah, especially since you have to hold the rod still. So either you have to shop some proper tool or invent something. And as you could see, I invented something the last time I made the right-hand side, and now the second time the right-hand side was very easy to service. Anyhow, this is what a virgin strut bearing bushing thing looks like. To make servicing a bit easier, the last time I put on a stack of washers over this, over the rod. We have the new one. Let's see if this one fits. New nut. It spins right away. Then the spanner. Here we have the spanner. Okay. Well, it won't fall down now. Then I want to kind of align it with the plastic cup, or whatever you should say, so it won't get out of position as I tighten those screws here. But come on now. No. No. Feels like it's too tight on the inside. It's like the rubber bushing isn't allowing it to fit here. Crap. Why is it like that? Yeah, you see, it drags there. And it's not really round as it's being pushed like that. So I made them a bit shorter, or not so deep. There we go. And are they kind of centered? There, I would say. Looks good. So let's tighten. Yeah, now the end is near. Yeah. There we go. Good. Come on. There it is. And then let's see if this plastic cup still wants to get in position. Well, let's see if it stays there or not. If not, I will have to invent something. Right, good. Yeah, and I've just tightened that with a 16mm socket. Now it's time to make sure that the spring is in its right position. It feels like that. Then I will just release the spring compressor. Let's see, it will take a while, but not very complicated. So, they're loose. Perfect. Alright, there we go. I must say that this second time it has been much easier to replace this crap. The first time things were really corroded. Now, when I made this some years ago, I sprayed the screws with anti-corrosion protection and so on. So this was quite swift. Not too difficult, right? Well, that's all from Hoojies Garage today. Take care. Bye-bye. More will come.